Okay.
So welcome everyone, open mic viewers. Welcome to Amina Farzee. Am I right in saying it, Amina?
Yes, that's correct.
So welcome so much. I appreciate you joining. It's a beautiful Sunday. It is really, really warm in Gauteng today, I must say. Really excited to have you on. We've been working a lot over the last couple of weeks, you and I. And I just wanted to say to all the viewers, it's been a real honor working, with Amina side by side these last couple of weeks, and I've learned a lot from her. Amina, your topic today, is about intuitive business alignment. That's your topic today. But before we get into that, I think for the listeners out there, to introduce yourself and basically, have the platform. And I'm going to be taking some questions, some comments. I see, I see we have Adele on the line. I see we have Andy. Hi, ladies. Welcome. Yes, Luigi. Thank you so much. She calls me Romano. I call her Luigi. So, Amina, over to you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Amina. I am from Cape Town, and I met Sheshni a few weeks back, and I explained to her what I do. So before I get into that, I have to explain my journey that led me to what I'm doing now, to give you a little bit of an understanding. So basically, my life over the past 3.5 years was pretty much like the Matrix, where Neo got taken out of IT and taken to find Morpheus, and Morpheus gave him the choice of the red or the blue pill. And he chose the red pill, I think, and he went down the rabbit hole. And, the Matrix was what you know, what you don't know. And he got shown what he didn't know. Maybe he didn't like what he saw, but it basically took him out of a world which he thought he knew well into a world which explained the other world a little bit better. And my life has been pretty much like that. And just the only problem is that I wasn't given a choice of the blue or the red pill. I was just given the red pill and said, you jump down the rabbit hole. And you now have to find out what it is that makes the world tick, how the world works from a metaphysical perspective. And the challenge is pretty much like Neo's. It was pretty challenging, trying to look at the new ways of looking at things, different ways of looking at things. And in that time, I was given certain gifts. So I am able to assess someone's physical body, whether they're ill, whether they are functioning well, everything basically to do with someone, their families, their genetics, their work, everything. So I see everything from a metaphysical perspective. So my take on business and health and life coaching may differ slightly from the traditional business and life coach, where I may delve slightly deeper into what are the spiritual aspects or the metaphysical aspects that may be affecting you or your business that you may be completely unaware of. I do that with academics as well. What are the barriers academically, socially, within the business, within your life, that could be inhibiting you from moving forward or seeing what you may not be able to see, and just reshuffling things, clearing the mind, giving the person a little bit more clarity into what it is that they need to do. Sometimes they're in the wrong profession. Sometimes they're wanting to start a business, but now may not be the right time for them because they're either too tired, they have personal issues they need to resolve, which makes having clarity a little bit more challenging. So I've been assisting entrepreneurs or people who are already running businesses to look at their business holistically. So I don't step in and say, let's see how we can move the business forward. Do we look at digital media or advertising? I look at what do we need to look at from every perspective, not just promoting the business. I look at, is this business working for you? Is there passion in this business? If you don't have passion for a business, that becomes a chore instead of a hobby. If you run a business, you do a job, it shouldn't be a chore. It sucks you dry completely. Your spirit is just, so you need to be able to do something, even if you don't enjoy it completely, but at least like what you do. If you feel a complete void, then you're doing something that is draining you completely, and then people become drained, they become depressed. So I assess every aspect of a business, the person running the business, who is associated to the business, everything. So that is why I found in this time, especially when most people are working from home or either being retrenched or they have to find another side business, is this the right time for you to do this? If so, have you chosen the right path? Have you chosen the right career? And if so, what steps do you need to take to move forward? And that is what I've been assisting with.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a very different type of coaching and alignment, and definitely not the traditional sense, right? What has been your experience, to date? I know you're part of a few, groups that you have been assisting businesses of lately. I think, what has been the common thread message coming around from some of the businesses that you've been assisting with of recent?
Many of them have no idea, or they feel there's a blockage. They don't know how to proceed. They're at a crossroads, or they're stuck. I don't know if this is the right thing that I should do. I'm not sure why my business is not making money. I'm not sure what to do. Should I let some employees go? Should I do this on my own? Is this the right decision that I'm making? So there's a lot of ifs from people in terms of moving forward in their business. And for each person that I've assisted, almost everyone has been completely different. We went from choosing a completely wrong industry to the one being completely exhausted, to another being needing to upskill themselves. And another maybe needing support, and another advertising. So it's really very, very different for each person. So that is why I don't just look at the business and say structure. I'm not structured in that way, because I don't come in with a structure, because then you limit your thinking ability. You have to come in completely open-minded and say, what is it that I need to do for you to be able to uplift you and your business? I have to do both, not just one, because if you are not functioning and I get the business to function, it's not balanced. So that's why there needs to be alignment within person and business to work. Very important.
Okay. Hence why you're saying person, business, and alignment that needs to happen between both, right? There seems to be a lot of people that's out of alignment right now.
Yes.
In the sense of, what am I supposed to be doing? Feeling that stuckness, to your point earlier. And clearly you have a way of assisting them. What has been some of the challenges that people are facing? Is it fear? Do you feel that is because of the environment and of the current environment that we're in right now?
I think it's more anxiety, as in they're uncertain about, is lockdown going to proceed for another month, 2 months, 3 months, could be a year, could be 8 months, which is why I ask my clients to focus on now. Because I said, if we work on 8 months from now, where will your business be in 8 months' time? So we need to find an alternative just in case the business lockdown remains for 8 months or 5 months. We have no idea. If it's 3 months, at least you've gone an alternate route and you've gained more experience in another avenue, can only benefit you. So therefore, I recommend not looking too far ahead and saying, I can wait another month or 2 months. What happens if they move the lockdown for another 4 months? And then I don't know. And I don't want, especially there's a lot of single women that I'm assisting as well. And I know there are many still out there. wondering, how can I make this work if I need to run my family and I'm not getting an income? So that is a huge issue for me at the moment, and I'm really needing to assist, wanting to assist the single moms, trying to uplift themselves, to guide them in a way that they can use their talents in a different arena, in a different area. Yeah.
It's
So
also
I
not.
work with, yeah.
Carry on, Amina.
Now I work a lot with the left and the right brain, because that is really, really important for me to ascertain is how left-brained and how right-brained are you? Because if you're more right-brained, choosing something technically won't work too well. You will succeed or you will be okay, but to challenge or go against someone who's highly technical or more left-brained may not suit you. So we have to work with your skills to be able to find the right avenue for you.
I think a lot of people are self-doubting themselves, though. Self-doubting themselves at a point now because of obviously being in lockdown, but self-doubting themselves in what they know and what they believe true to be, right?
Yes.
How do you help someone with self-doubt or self-doubt in what they know or what their strength is? Because I think a lot of us tend to go back and question why we're failing, what's the reason we're failing, and obviously self-doubt creeps up into our beings, it creeps up into ourselves, and obviously there's a lot of retrenchments going on right now in the country as well. So people are definitely wanting to find their place, should I say.
Yeah. So that is why I like to work with, if you have a lack of confidence or a lack of, or self-doubt, or I feel a little bit uncertain, inadequate. Uncertainty, that's fine, but the self-doubt, the self-confidence, usually that stems from childhood, teenage years. So I have to work with the client, because sometimes if there are issues relating to childhood or teenage years, that's usually a barrier for themselves moving forward in the business, also depending on the kind of business that they run. If you're running health and wellness and you haven't dealt with your own issues, it becomes a problem moving forward. And you can exhaust yourself if you don't know what is really causing that blockage. So I assist in letting go of whatever parental issues may have happened as a child, letting go of all of those so you can have more strength and more clarity moving forward without the cloudiness of I'm not good enough. I don't know. People have always said that I'm not good enough. No, I work all that away and say, now give yourself the strength to be able to focus on what is important for you without everything clouding your mind, clouding your spirit, taking away you from your business. Really important.
Definitely important. We have Audria on from London. We have Nelia on. We have Andy. We have Adele. Hi, ladies, and welcome to you guys. Thank you so much for joining. If anybody has questions, if anybody has comments, if anybody wants to, ask a question, to Amina, please put it into the comment section while we are streaming, so that we can, face Amina with any questions that you guys may help individually as well. Amina, what would you say, businesses today, given that whether we're in lockdown for a month, whether it's 2 months, whether it's 4 months, what comes to me is that it's not a waste in when you pivot your business into a different way of doing things. I believe it's an alternate way for you to keep on maintaining that way. So, and I think a lot of people are forgetting the main core of what their business is and what they should be doing. Saying that, when you pivot your business, it's not to say that you're going to lose what you've done over the last couple of months. I'm seeing it as a way of enhancing your business. Would that be a fair statement to say?
I think that is extremely important, is that the one thing that everyone has to assess when they think about their business is, what is my passion? The first question they should ask themselves. When you find your passion, your talent, because that's where your talent lies, when you think of something, does it lower your vibrational energy and feel, if I think of that, then that's not for you. If you feel enthused about something, then you know that really is your passion. And that's really important, because if you have passion for something and you put your all into it, that flourishes. You put very good energy into what you do. People can feel that good energy. You give the goodness off to people who work for you, who purchase from you. It's really, really good to have that passion. So people who are not passionate about what they do, especially if they are self-employed, sometimes if you're working for an employer, you may not have all that many options, but if you're running your own business, you may need to do a self-assessment. If you're not passionate and you're just doing that, okay, I just have to do an income just to get an income, and it exhausts you, you may have to find a way to uplift yourself or find something to add to the business that can give you some excitement. That's really important as well.
That's good. That's quite a good, point. We have a lot of people, I've noticed in corporate, a lot of people, there's no passion anymore in corporate. I see people are exhausted. We had a conversation the other day, specifically with women, and you can see it's exhaustion. And I think as time goes on, corporate's changing. It's not that same way or look or feel how it used to be versus how it is currently.
Yeah. So I think when you're working in corporate, you can be in a job that really relates to you. I worked in corporate for 15 years. I loved every minute of the 15 years because I loved what I did. I was passionate about what I did. I never felt exhausted for one day while I was there. And that's really important for people to understand is if you have a choice within a corporate, try and find something that really gives you passion or enjoy what you do. If you enjoy working with people, try and work with people. But I think the challenge now is that being COVID, there's not much movement at all. There's more retrenchments than movement. So people have to find a way to lift themselves vibrationally, because there is a general lower vibrational energy amongst corporate employees, especially in the call center, because they are so structured. They are so structured. The free mind has become so structured that they lose their spirit. And that happens to a lot of call center employees. There needs to be a way for the employees to be able to, I need to just dance. They need to have a dancing session twice a day, just to let them. And that's true. The spirit just really thrives when there's a sense of enjoyment. When, especially if you have a free spirit and has to be structured, becomes frustrating for the individual, and it lowers their vibrational energy. And that is what people need to do. Instead of, and I know when you take time out, put music in your ears, go and dance somewhere, enjoy yourself, let's get back to work. Makes a massive difference for the spirit, just to uplift yourself. Makes a very, very big difference.
I must say, myself being in corporate still and working at home, and I listen to some of the people, their voices over the phones, over meetings, over conferences and things like that. Their vibrations are so low. They are so down. It is a very bad vibration to hear someone over the phone. I've noticed a few of friends, a few of family members as well. There's a lot, the vibrations are very, very low, extremely low. Sometimes you don't want to, I know a colleague at work said, I don't want to speak to anybody, but I want to speak to you, because you have that sense of happiness, or, your words, is being used right. And you notice that people are trying to avoid that now. That's quite an interesting thing that's been happening of recent.
Yes. And that is why that is so important, is that when the body feels good vibrations, the body, the cells immediately uplift themselves, and the vibrational energy is lifted. And that makes a huge, huge difference to the individual. And they go back to doing the telecells and they go, they'll feel the enjoyment for a while.
Okay.
Makes a huge difference. They need to have a little bit of a 10-minute time out twice during the day, just to keep the spirits lifted within the employees. Makes a huge difference.
What would you suggest on some of the uplifting one's spirit right now, besides obviously listening to music and stuff? I mean, we have a lot of companies that close down and they're retrenching like that. Right now, what would you advise to to some of the people whether they want to look for a job or whether they need to upskill themselves, what would you propose to some of the people out there? Do they start looking for other jobs? Do they upskill themselves? How do they make do with the time that they currently have right now?
Okay,
And
that
it's
is where
now.
clarity comes in. They need clarity. When you don't have the clarity, you don't know, you may not know which avenue to take. Do I do this or do I do that? When you have clarity, you have your intuition increases. You feel more. You'll be able to feel, this doesn't feel right for me. That feels right for me. And that is important for people to know now, is that a lot of people, when they are unhappy, are completely out of alignment. And you need to bring them back in. When they are in alignment, they're more intuitive. They'll be able to feel more. This feels right. This just feels right for me. And or I need to maybe stay in this job for a little while, sustains me, and maybe at a later stage something will pop up. So in terms of those wanting direly to leave their work, they need to make a list of the pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
If they leave, what avenue can they pursue? Do they need to start something first before they leave? If they do, what do they choose? Make a list of your skills. First, what am I passionate about? What are my strengths? You cannot add a weakness to that at all. Otherwise, you're going to, what are my strengths and what is my passion? And from there, you look at that and you assess whether that is a viable option for you to stay or to leave. If you're a single person, obviously leaving without having another income may be a little bit challenging. So you may need to look at those options. And if you're really, really unhappy in the job that you are in, and you're needing to find a way out, then that may be where I come in to try and assist in moving things around in the head and just talking to them and finding, bringing out their passion. Because sometimes I asked someone last week, what is your passion? And they had no idea. They had no idea what their passion was. What are you good at? They had no idea what they were good at. They enjoy doing something, but it wasn't a skill. And that is where I have to sit down and say, okay, this is where we need to work. And this is someone wanting to move a business forward, wanting to start a business. You have to have an idea. But this is also where life comes in, what has happened in the previous years leading up to now. And that's where we're working on, to be able to get that passion out so that you can find that. And that's important as well.
Okay. Adele mentioned here, Amina says, lockdown do kill down some passion, to be honest. So I think Adele's saying that, lockdown has actually killed the passion in oneself, right?
Yes.
And basically, it's hard to, I think some people are finding it hard to take that passion again and build it up and revive it again and give it that energy and the thing that you love most. And I think lockdown has caused, I think from what I'm looking at right now, is it's put it into a box. And that box is squared. It's like literally squared, and that passion sitting inside, and he doesn't know how to get out. I think people know what their passions are about, but it's boxed.
Yeah, sometimes when you have a passion for, and this is especially for free-spirited people, being indoors can be extremely frustrating. Where you find those who are homely, I've met a few of them, and none of them are frustrated at all. They say, this is fine for me. I have no problem. It's free-spirited people that are feeling frustrated. Those who surf, those who hike, those who cycle, the runners, the swimmers, those who have lots of energy find that they're extremely frustrated being indoors. And that is where it comes down to, what can you do? Are you able to go out between 6 and 9 in the morning? I don't know if you guys can do that, to be able to walk and run, get a little bit of nature. If you aren't able to do so, if you have a garden, can you go into the garden and dance around the trees and listen to music? So in terms of the situation that we're finding ourselves in now, for those who are employed, I'm not talking about those who are not, those who are employed, to find their passion within their business, they need to be able to uplift themselves inside and say, let me not look at this negatively. Let me look at this as an opportunity to grow and maybe learn some other skills, read, and then the negativity will go. Instead of saying, oh my goodness, I'm in lockdown, I can't do what I need to do. This is the situation. We may have to endure this for a little while. What is the best that I can do within the situation right now? That may need to be a shift in mindset as well for a little while.
Definitely, your state of mind is something that is constantly would be a challenge, right? Your state of mind will drive your emotions, what you feel, what you want to do, where you want to go, what you want to see. Adele says, "Yeah, cannot see our people." So Adele's a kickboxing, a kickboxing sensei coach, and I think with her it's that she can't see the people. Well, she can see it because they have Zoom sessions, but I think it's that physical, part of it. And, you do get people that you saying free-spirited people. I mean, I'm a free-spirited people. I'm a total extrovert. total extrovert, right? I love meeting people. Open mic. I've been meeting people every single week. It has been an extraordinary gift that has been given. I welcomed and I received open mic. I have learned so much about new people, and an extrovert being myself and like the outdoors, I found somewhere else to channel it, which I did.
That's it. Yes, correct.
Yeah,
correct.
which I did. And it's giving me that satisfaction. I think it's the word satisfaction that I have, that I've created, for myself. But I do agree with you, Amina. It does start within yourself in order to get that alignment, right.
Yeah, and I think with to Adele's statement, in the kickboxing, my assistant does facials. She can't work at all. So the option was that let's find a different avenue. For example, if Adele does kickboxing, what can we do on video? Can I maybe train someone in this way? Maybe advertise what I do on social media. May not be the ideal situation, may not be able to do the one-on-one customer contact, but there is an option. Maybe I can, because as I said, what I did as well, I only worked one-on-one with clients in my own space until I was in lockdown. Now people all over the world are contacting me for assistance. So she may be able to branch out to different countries and people seeking her for her assistance, So then she may not be confined to just Joburg, maybe all over the world, and people are looking for kickboxing senseis to assist them. What do I need to do here? What do I need to do there? So it may be an option.
Okay, Adele, I hope you listen to that, because it seems like your skill set could be used all over the world. And I do believe we do limit ourselves, though. We limit ourselves with what we have and what we know. It's when we don't tap into that unknown, it becomes the most awkward feeling and gives that uncertainty to people, not knowing what to expect.
Yes. And I think the unexpected, because I belong to quite a number of Facebook groups where people are talking about COVID-19 constantly, and about the awakening, and what do the spiritual people do now, and what do we do with ourselves, and what do we do, with everything. So there are millions, if not billions, of people in the world at the moment in confinement, in a confined space, not doing what they usually do. And a lot of them have to shift a little bit and accommodate where we are in. It's unprecedented times. It's not the norm. So what do we do under these circumstances to make this workable for us? I know it may not be the same as it was 4 months back. So let's do with this. Let's shift a little bit and say, okay, well, I can't help the situation that I'm in. Let's move this a little bit and say, okay, there's a different avenue. That's fine. Let's do that for a while. Who knows, you may get more clientele. And then at the end of the lockdown, you've boosted your business considerably.
Absolutely. I so agree with you, right? I absolutely agree with you. Being who I am, I find lockdown to a certain extent a place of being still. We do need to be still sometimes. And coming from me, absolutely, we do need to be still. Still in the sense with our mind, with our bodies, with our souls, with just being still. And I think
Yes.
whatever's happened with the environment right now, in the situation that we're currently in right now, we are allowed right now to be still. You know, we talk
Yes.
about this rat race that we're in all the time. We talk about it's so busy, it's like this, and that's, which is true, right? But it's a point in our lives right now, which we'll never get back again, is to be still.
Yes. And that is very key, in that is the alignment. When you're still and you're peaceful, no matter what is happening in the world, that's okay.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
That's the alignment. That's the alignment that I'm talking about.
Yes.
The business alignment. So it's fine. Let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
You will also be so in tune with your business that you will feel the way the business needs to run. You will know if that feels right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Adele responded, she says, we are trying online. The problem comes in with people actually paying for the service though.
Yeah, which is why when you advertise on the business initially, go to a number of Facebook groups where people are into exercising and kickboxing. You join a number of groups, where it's 10 or 15 groups. And then you, for a week, advise people. People get to know you. Then you say, oh, yes, you can contact me. Go to this website. It takes maybe a week or two. That's happened with me on a number of sites. And then people contact me and then they start paying you as a client, but they need to know your skills first, what you do first, before they're going to pay any money, because there may be other kickboxers in the world. But when you advise from a professional perspective, they have faith in your advice. And they say, she knows what she's talking about. And then they bring a friend or two, and that is how, little steps at a time, to get there.
I also think it's about building trust, right? It's definitely about building trust. And I mean, Adele, even with open mic, all of these people that's coming through the platform right now from around the world, from a global perspective, I build trust with them first. It does start with a bit of trust. It does start with, what do I know about this person? How do I entrust my story to this lady that I've never met and I know for the first time, and she's giving me the space right now to share? So, and to your point, there's a lot of groups that's happening right now. Build your social media, post, build pamphlets, build a whole host of digital stuff that you can start posting onto the group. Whether it takes a week, whether it takes 2 weeks, you're definitely going to find people coming to you and asking questions. It's for you to touch base with them. But the thing is, you have to start.
Yes. And that was also been my advice for I assisted a man not too long ago, a brilliant man, where his business can't function because of lockdown. And I chatted to him for a while, and I said to him, use your brilliance in a different field. I said, shift that, because you can't, and he was stagnating, was extremely frustrated because his mind is so brilliant. And now he's on a completely different trajectory, working on something that's extremely brilliant and exciting. So sometimes we think one way and say, but this is what I do. But this is me. This is what I do. I can't do anything else. Then you can't, right? You're limiting yourself and say, okay, I cannot do this way at the moment. Let's switch that way, which is what Adele may be doing. So we open that little broader for Adele and say, let's try that way. Let's do those Facebook, because I didn't know initially as well, but as you know, I get guided and assisted into a way that promotes what I do. And that's what I assist my clients with. Let's open up that, and let's find the guidance in assisting you in uplifting your business and finding the clientele where you need to find the clientele, and assist in how you word your advertisements to make that click with the people that read what you are advertising. It's really important.
It's definitely something about ads, ads speak to people. The words that you mentioned on these ads speaks to people. It's how you come across to someone and how confident you are in what you do, right?
Yes.
Your confidence will show a lot in your business. It will show a lot in what you need and what you need to do. But of recent, and I would say probably in the last month or so, a very common thread that I've been seeing on many seminars that I've been on, many summits that I've been on, a lot of cross-functional talks that has been happening across the world. The one common denominator that resonated with me, if I had a look at all of these summits and conferences that I've been through the last month, the one thing stood out for me, and this was across multiple different platforms, was it all starts with yourself.
Yes. Yes, really, really does. Because especially if, whether you are employed or an employer,
Yeah.
running your own business really is that. How can I make the best of my situation if there's nothing much that I can do with the situation that I'm in? And a lot of single females find themselves in that situation, and guys as well. What do I do with the situation that I'm in to make this work for me without lowering my vibrational energy? That is a start of depression. You need to keep your vibrational energy up so that your mind can function properly. You can get home and not be miserable. You need to, because once your cells drop, the vibrational energy in your cells and your body drops. You get home, you're moody, you don't feel like talking, and just not in a good mood today. That does happen. So we need to try and keep that vibrational energy up at the moment, especially in today's society, in today's uncertain times.
It was quite interesting hearing all of these. I'm talking about billionaires, multimillionaires, authors, business owners, motivational people, coaches. It was a phenomenal month hearing and seeing, these people coming onto these platforms. And it was just one thing that stood out for me. And if I had to take anything that I learned during this lockdown, it starts with yourself. It
Yes.
clearly starts with yourself. They themselves have said that. They themselves, you think we're losing money? Do you think we're the ones that are feeling this as well? It's affecting everybody. And the key thing that one of them also mentioned as well, it doesn't matter your business, we all are in the same situation. It's not to say that the richer are in that situation or we are in this situation, and there's no difference. We're all experiencing at the same time. But what does make us different is our state of mind and how we feel within ourselves. That makes the difference in how we are seeing and how the businesses are making progress or how things are changing. And that for me was very interesting.
Yes, and that again boils down to the very, very reason that I'm having the talk is alignment. When that alignment is there, everything sort of just flows. And you'll know if something, and I mentioned as well to a client, if your business is unsuccessful, you've put everything in, so maybe that business is meant to be unsuccessful. Maybe money will change you. Maybe you are your family runs really well. Too much success may ruin that family unity. So let's take that away from you and let's put you in another direction where that business doesn't take you away from your family. So sometimes businesses become unsuccessful for sometimes reasons we don't understand, but we need to look at the bigger picture. So that's in terms of so that is why now when I look at a business, I can immediately see if there's a hurdle, if this is just not working holistically, the person, the family, depending on the circumstances within the home as well. I can see how things may function in the home, with the husband and the wife, with the children. So how exhausted will you be? If you run a family with a business, will you deplete your souls? Are you able to manage? If so, it's fine. If not, how can we make you manage? If it's going to be too draining, there may be a blockage for the business to proceed. Then let's shift you elsewhere.
Mm. Sometimes we don't know when to stop. You know, we continue on this path and we don't know when to stop. Um, and sometimes having a new direction as to where something is moving us to could be the answer, because we're
Yeah.
not aware of the other opportunities that's outside of our norm.
Yes. And that's important, because what I've experienced as well with my clientele and recently is, when they have a passion for something, I can feel it's almost like a spiritual connection to their business. And I can tell them that business is so good. I can immediately feel that. And if something is not working, I can feel this it just makes me feel completely low vibration. That
Yeah.
may not be the best option for you. So I can intuitively feel what is and isn't working for my clients. And with the intuitive business alignment and with the client alignment, they may be able to feel that connection as well. And that's really important. They will feel immediately, maybe there's another option that I can do here. They may intuitively know what they need to do. And that is why the alignment of themselves is so important, to be able to clear out the negativity and the blockages for them to see clearly that what they need to do moving forward.
Yeah. It's crucial at a time like this where we do need to, I think, step back a little bit and just,
Yes,
breathe and let it go out and to reassess. A friend of mine said it's a time for reflection.
yes, yes, really is. And introspection,
Yeah.
what do I need to work on within myself during this time? Are there things that I would love to do?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they can start doing whatever it is that they need to do, upskill. And that was another thing you said, upskill. That is really important,
Mm.
because are you going to upskill yourself for an industry that you may do in 5 months' time, or that industry may not be there in 5 months' time? That's really important.
That's quite an
Like,
interesting. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. So when I was talking about upskilling, and the reason why I mentioned this is because some of my staff or my teams that I work with, I've been encouraging them. You have this time. We are in lockdown. It doesn't stop you from learning. It doesn't matter where you are. Learning is crucial to anyone's self-development,
yeah,
right? Whether
yeah,
it's courses, whether it's reading, whether it's looking at TED Talks, whether it's looking at open mic, it's definitely some talk of or some way of learning. And when you
yes,
learn, you grow. Okay.
exactly.
So during the lockdown, my message to my teams were, it is not a time to stop and to reflect on your faults and on your failures. It is a time to reflect and do an introspect of what are some of the key aspects that you need to move forward on, which was the one
Yes,
thing. And then what are some of the things that you would want to learn at a time like this, right? So
yes,
whether it is a development in a new skill, whether it's something outside of what you're currently doing right now, you have to use the time that you have right now that is going to help you, that is going to make you
yes,
move forward. And I think
yes.
that was my message to them, and hence why I said upskilling. There's a friend of mine, and I'm not too sure if Jackie is on. I saw her coming on a little bit later. Jackie is a close friend of mine, and with Jackie, she was struggling a lot, with she's actually, part of EdCon. And sorry, Jackie, I'm mentioning this right now. Um, she's part of EdCon, and I think Nelia is on as well, and Nelia as well. And we all know that EdCon is really going through some very, very trying times right now. And they are my close, friends. I know them for more than 15 years, both of them. And, you know, they are in a position where work has slowed down. They don't know if they're going to have a job. And the one particular thing, I mentioned to Jackie specifically was, you need to start upskilling yourself. Don't sit back.
Yes.
Nothing's going to come to you right now. What I'm saying is that try to look at different avenues to see how can you learn new things, upskill yourself, branch out, network. You can network. I mean, everyone's networking right now.
Yes. And the upskilling is really important, because especially as you mentioned, those at ITCON, if you know that your job is in jeopardy, you may leave. but you want to upskill yourself in an industry that may need you. And that is where the clarity comes in what if I choose something where the industry may not be there in 5 months' time, and upskilling myself for something that in case it lets me go, and then that industry is not there, or they may not require my services. So you need to look at what does the world need right now. 1, technology. 2, technology. 3, technology. If you're not technologically inclined, find something in essential services that may interest you. Those you know that may still be there in 5 months' time, for example, if we are still in lockdown. And that is what people need to look at is, what are the industries thriving at the moment? What the industries really doing really well at the moment? Let me see if I have an interest. Then make a list of the industries that are current, that are excelling. If you're not technologically inclined, let's think of health and wellness, or admin within a technology company, for example. How can I do that? What can I do to be able to fit within the essential services bracket to be able to get an additional income? And that is really what people need to do. So I want to share something with the group. I do dream interpretation, as you know, because of the skills that I've acquired over this past few years. And I've been interpreting dreams all around the world for people. And the one common theme, or one dream was of particular interest to me. Some guy in the United States, and he dreamt of the death of Merrill Lynch, and that is the US bank. And that is a massive deal. That is a massive deal. I looked at the dream and I thought to myself, that says to me a lot. So people who are listening to this and they get that, that's a massive, massive deal. That is why I'm saying, let's focus on locally. Let's focus on what we can do within our country, with ourselves. We don't know what's happening internationally. But that threw me completely, and I thought, okay, let's focus here. Because that's a massive crash if Merrill Lynch is buried. Because that was the dream. And I thought, okay, let's focus on here. What can we do within our country to uplift ourselves? Add to the skills that the country needs at the moment with the essential services. You know, there's the Pick and Pays, there's all those companies. And then there's the IT companies. What can we do with Vodacom, or Telkom, or Vox, or AfriHost, or all those services? So those are the services I would suggest looking into if you need to find alternative employment within those industries. Because, yeah, and that's really important at this moment. If lockdown finishes in 2 months, yay, that's fine, you know, but find an alternative just in case.
Even if it's done in 2 weeks, even if it's done in 2 months, you know, Amina, and to my point earlier, however you pivot your business and whatever change you make is not lost. My theory is you keep on doing what you're doing when you pivot.
Yeah.
I'm saying even if lockdown's done over 2 months, do not stop doing what you're doing, because it shouldn't be the change of environment while you're pivoting. You should be able to maintain and keep whatever you've changed up to that same pillar, and make sure you drive and make sure that that enhances what you currently would hold. That's how I see it.
And that also depends on your situation in 2 months' time. If you feel you've shifted so much that this job just is not doing for you anymore, I love what I'm doing here, I can sustain myself, that's fantastic. If you think you want to do the one while trying to do the other, you take the situation as it comes. And when you have the clarity and the peace and contentment, as you know, the alignment, you will feel I can balance them both if I need to, or I need to know when I need to take a break there and add more there, so that you don't wear out your spirit, which then affects your energy and lowers your vibrational energy. It's really important.
Okay, awesome. Any last final wording, Amina, to our viewers? We still have them online. Is there anything else that you would like to share while we close off this talk?
I think we've covered many aspects of the business during this time. For me, I think the most important would be if you're unhappy in what you are doing at the moment, and you want to leave corporate, you want to leave, see if there's an alternative for you. If you're trying to grow your business, have a little bit of clarity, move all the little things out of the head and out of the way, and do a little bit of deep breathing and see, can we do an alternative? We have to make the most of what the situation that we're in. We can't take, I mean, if we could take COVID away, I suppose we could, but we're in the situation now. What can I do within the situation, lift my vibrational energy and move to a different path? Just move the trajectory slightly and find what will work for you on that path. But for me at the moment, there is a lot of stress that I'm feeling amongst the women on this group. There are some that are very, very stressed. And I'm sorry, I can feel that. And that comes from taking in the situation that we are in deeply. Say, there's nothing I can do about the situation. Let that go. What is it that I can do for myself in the situation? That the negativity has clamped them down completely. So if that goes, they may find that they have clarity to move into a different direction and say, okay, fine, I need to deal with this now. There's nothing I can do about the fact that we're in lockdown, because it really isn't. What else can I do? Yeah, you have to make the best of the situations to not depress yourselves, because if you remain like this for another month or two, where are you going to be then? So try and make this work for you. And just try and interact as we do, as we are now, different sessions and communicating with people, joining different Facebook groups, advertising what you do, because that's how I get a lot of my clientele. We do women entrepreneurship groups. They hear what you do, people are interested, and they connect with you and they pay you. So it really does work that way. In the situation at the moment, it may work for you well.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Amina, for your insights. It's been really great, having you on and, advising some of the women that has come on. I think there's a lot of alignment that needs to happen with a person, with oneself, and also with the businesses that I think a lot of women are having currently right now. I'm really hoping, the people that we've had on open mic, if people want to reach out to any of you guys, of the speakers, of the coaching with Amina, with Kim, we had Janine the following week, we had a whole host of people. We have Michelle coming on right now. Guys, I am giving this to you. I want you to reach out to the people that can help you. And I have been interacting with a lot of the women that has come through my path over the last month. And I'm saying to you right now, being an extrovert who I am, trust me, I am at the most peak of my period right now, in the sense that you find that inner peace in yourself in order to move forward. But there's a lot of people out there that can help you. And my take is, with open mic and bringing these intuitive people and people that have done these type of work, reach out to people, get the help that you need. Asking for help does not make you any less. It just grows you. And that would be my message, for people that, is really, really stressing, have a lot of fear in them. So, I mean, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on and sharing your insights. I really appreciate your time. And I want to say thank you. And and happy Eid to you. I didn't even wish you today.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you very, very much. Thank you so much. And all the best to you. And I'll see you soon. Take care.
Yes.
Goodbye,
Take
everyone.
care,
And good luck.
Guys,
Take
we're going to be
care.
coming
Bye-bye.
online now.